Hey guys, thought it was time for a little update on the Ecosphere since I made this on July 10th and we're now August 22nd I think today, yeah, 22nd. So over a month, it's been a month and we'll say 12 days. And let's take a look. As you can see, the plants have, I can't believe they've grown crazy. And so has all the string algae at the bottom. It's bloomed up very nice. The water looks a tinge green, but it's not. That's just algae that's building up on the surface of the glass itself. All these plants, like this one sprouted out. Let me see if I can get this clear. From that little stick there, a little leaf popped up, one leaf, and then it grew and it grew and it came right to the top. Got another one over here doing the same thing. It's just small now, but in a couple of weeks that'll be right to the top. You can see all the critters are here. They're all doing good. Actually, I think there's more than when I first... Oh, someone's messaging me. Okay. I think there's even more when I first put them in. You can see all the little copepods. There's nematodes, all those little worms in the bottom wiggling. And they're everywhere. You can see even in the background, they're not in focus, but they're everywhere, those little nematodes. And on the glass, there's like these little dots. You can see them there, and I think those are baby ostracods, or otherwise known as seed shrimp, because they're plentiful in there as well. Lots of ostracods. The Daphne and copepods are doing good. Look at all that algae, the string algae. There's the nematodes in the back. Doing a little dance. This thing up here, if you can see him, where is he? Right there. They are something new. I didn't notice them until not long ago. It's very hard to see now, but I put one under a microscope and it's like a little fan comes out of this little tiny shell or something, almost like a polychaete worm or something. And they're everywhere at the top. Too bad I can't focus better, but I'll throw the picture in for my microscope so you can see what they looked like. They were crazy. And I also took a video of one of the Hydra. Let's see if I'll throw that clip of one of the Hydra in for my microscope. They're pretty cool. Now someone else is messaging me. One of my buddies who built a house, and it was on an old property, had to burn down the old house that was on the property. It was a very old house. He found a Vicky large scent laying on the ground, not even under the ground. It was sitting right on the grass. So he invited me over with my metal detector one of these days to take a good look around. And I'm for sure going to do that. That's crazy. I've never heard of a Vicky just sitting on the grass like that, sitting on the ground. So okay, back to the Ecosphere. See, it looks like there's not too much swimming around from back here, but you know there's lots. When I zoom in, see if we can get it clear on something here. But anyway, all those plants grew so much. There was a lot of little, I guess they were kind of like mosquito larvae and stuff in there, but they've all hatched and they're all dead now, thankfully. If you can see at the top, there are some dead mosquitoes. You can just see their wings sometimes just floating in the water. It's very hard to focus like this. Oh, that's not bad. Actually, oh, now it's blurry as can be. There we go. That's as good as I can get it. And there's a community of things floating on the surface. You see all those little dots. It's so hard to focus. I think they're copepods. I don't know what they do at the surface. That big thing's a water mite. But the tiny little dots swimming around, those are copepods. So I don't know if they are eating something up there. Maybe they're breeding, maybe they're laying their eggs, God knows, but they always go to the top. Then you got the ones that are always on the glass. And the little there's a copepod right there. And the little dots, there also could be baby copepods, but a lot of them are ostracods, I'm sure. It's quite interesting still. The kids still love it. Got the magnifying glass there. Let's see if we can enlarge anything. It kind of looks the same. Just do this. Yeah, it's quite hard to record it, but in real life it's awesome looking. Like if it looks good on the camera, you should see it in real life. Suggest any of you to go make one. It stays, like you said, this is sealed, it's still kicking. We'll see how long. I'm sure it's going to last a long time. There's no signs of any die out. I actually tried making a saltwater one. I had two side by side. I'll throw a picture of the saltwater one while it was there. It looked really nice, but within 2 days everything died. I'm not sure. I think it's just because it was too warm in the house. Our bay it's the Bay de Chaleur, and it's pretty cold, so the creatures in there are not used to warm. So I think that the heat just killed everything off. So it didn't live, so I emptied it out. But yeah, it did look cool. We had a snail, there was lots of little shrimps and all kinds of things in it, but it only lasted about 2 days, unfortunately. But the pond water one is thriving even more than ever. And all that algae on the glass, that's good news, because that's going to make more oxygen for the water, help keep everything in there nice and lively. I'm going to see if I can throw a picture of when I first made it, so you can see the difference in how much these plants grew. I can't believe it. Every one of them, like nothing died. And then some. There's more growing. There's roots coming from the top and growing down now. If you can see those little lines, that's roots coming from some part of the plant and now stretching downwards. Crazy. One more close up on the bottom part here. See if it'll zoom in. Oh, yeah. See, the only reason it's not clear now is because the glass isn't very clear anymore. But that's all the little nematodes. There's some of the glass community. On the glass community. And they're probably eating all the algae that's growing on the glass too, because that's good food for everything. Pretty well everything in here eats algae. Unless they're eating each other. I'm sure there's lots of that happening too. Especially on the microscopic level with parameciums and the rotifers, they're all eating each other up. And the amoebas. So yeah, I have been metal detecting regularly, just to talk about that for a minute, and just not filming much, but still out there pounding the ground, having a good time. One of these days I'll take my camera along and get a good hunt in and film it all. I've actually found my first Victorian silver, and it's a 50-cent piece in Newfoundland. Couldn't believe it. It's also my first 50-cent piece. So there you have it. Sealed Ecosphere is booming. And that's a huge water weight swimming around there. And hopefully on the next video, we'll be metal detecting. So I'll see you guys real soon. Oh, one more thing. If you guys are planning to make one of these, make sure you put it in a north-facing window so it doesn't get any direct sunlight. That's the only other thing I forgot to mention. Alright, later guys.